right, Instigator Mick here, back here, Hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. I know I did. I had some family members in town over the weekend. But other than that, it was a busy weekend of sports for sure. Not just other than WWE, you also had, the conference finals for both the NBA and the Stanley Cup playoffs. You also had MLB on Memorial Day. So yeah, it was a busy weekend for sure. My Yankees won 2 out of 3 from the Rockies, worst team in baseball. But I don't know why we lost the first game. I just don't get it. But oh well, we still won the series. But still, it's still embarrassing to lose at least one game to a team with single-digit wins. But they got the job done. They got the win, and they won their series. We'll get to it in a little bit. But yeah, it's been a long West Coast trip, but they've done well so far in this West Coast trip. I'd say they have done very well. I will give them a lot of credit for that. But all right, let's talk about the playoffs, where it's going. All 4 series from all the conference finals are all 3-1 the series lead. It's crazy. It's been the same thing. It's been the same trend for all these games. I'm hoping something change. I want the trend to start changing a little bit, for these playoff series. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was definitely a great weekend for sure. But let's begin. We'll talk about the playoffs. Now it is currently 3-1. Pacers lead the Knicks. They won last night, so Pacers 1 win away from going back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2000. Because last year they were in the conference finals and got swept by the Boston Celtics, my team. Of course, Celtics ended up winning the championship, but still, this is a different Pacers team. They have learned a lot from last year. They're just so good in crunch time. Their defense is just unstoppable for sure. The Knicks, pretty much their NBA Finals is beating the Celtics because they ain't going to get past the Eastern Conference Finals. They ain't going to get to the NBA Finals unless the Pacers not choke. But still, the Knicks got too cocky because, yes, it's huge to beat a defending champs. I know they beat my Boston Celtics. Big deal. We've had more rings than the Knicks. So I don't care. They say they beat us in the playoffs this year. We got more rings. We got 18 rings. When's the last time you guys won a championship? Over 50 or 60 fucking years ago? Yeah. So karma's a real bitch, New York Knicks fans. Karma's a real bitch. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the Pacers whooping your guys' ass in this series so far. I'm enjoying every fucking bit of it. So yeah, karma's a bitch. To you New Yorkers, you New Yorkers, come on. You Knicks fans, especially Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, they're gonna be crying in Madison Square Garden this weekend or some point, when the Knicks get eliminated by the Pacers. How y'all doing tonight, Louie? How you doing? Enjoying your Wednesday night? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, as a Celtics fan, this is karma, for sure. But without further ado, let's move on to our next segment. So yeah, so last night, that's the Pacers one. So then the other conference finals, which is starting tonight, Game 5. The Timberwolves and the Thunder, of course, Thunder are 1 win away. Thunder win tonight. They are the Western Conference Finals champions, and they'll be in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012, since the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook days. That was the last time the Thunder were in the NBA Finals. So that's exciting. That'll be exciting. Of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, hell of a season for MVP. So I'm very impressed. I'm impressed for sure with him. I thought Anthony Edwards would put up a better fight, but they could somehow make it interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Then the next one was, I'm doing good, Connor. How you been doing? Thank you for tuning in tonight. But yeah, so pretty much, I've been good. That's good to hear. So yeah, Thunder win tonight. They're moving on. Of course, now let's move on to hockey. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight. The Hurricanes and the Panthers. Panthers won the first. That's even better. That's a huge win. Congrats, bro. So yeah, the Hurricanes were down 3-0. They lost the first 3 games. The Panthers won the first 3, and then this past Monday night, Hurricanes finally won their first Eastern Conference Finals game in almost 20 years. And the last time they did it was against my Buffalo Sabres in 2006. So yeah, that was first time in a long time. So they were 0-15 in conference finals games. All of a sudden, they finally ended that long losing streak. So congrats to the Hurricanes, you know. But still, lots of work done if they want to make it interesting. But the Panthers, they're just too much like a juggernaut team. This is a team that won the Stanley Cup last year, the Panthers. So they might have a chance to repeat. They are just so dominant right now. And we might see a rematch from last year's Stanley Cup Finals. The Oilers are already up 3-1 their series in the Western Conference Finals. If they win tomorrow, they're going back to Stanley Cup Finals for the second straight year. Connor McDavid looking for hopefully second time's a charm for him. Absolutely, I do talk about sports. Absolutely, yeah. That is pretty much the big topic usually like on every Wednesday night, usually on Instagram, Mick. Being really, I mean, I do well in all sports, but really, I pretty much football is definitely a big time sport like topic that I really do really well with. I do well with all the other sports, don't get me wrong, but football is like my top, you know. Like I really do well because I'm in a football pool. I always show you guys my picks every week, so I can't wait to get to the fall as well too for that as well. But yeah, the Edmonton Oilers already up 3-1 the series. So Dallas, really, they got to get it going. I thought for sure Dallas would make it interesting. This Dallas Stars for sure, but now they're already down 3-1. And look, they did well in the first two series. The Stars had a hell of a game 7 against the Oilers. Mikko Rantan's had a hell of a postseason since coming from Colorado and from Carolina, from two teams in the same season. And he's done well with Dallas, I will say. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Definitely need some more subscribers, sure. Definitely need the support I need to bring you all this, you know, each week. So, yeah, Mikko Rantanen had a great... They did good against the Avalanche. That was a hell of a Game 7. And then they beat the President's Trophy team in the Winnipeg Jets, which, you know, the President's Trophy curse is a thing still in the National Hockey League. So that happened. So yeah, now the Stars are in trouble. They're facing elimination for the first time since Game 7 of the first round. They could come back, but the thing is, Oilers beat this team last year in the Stanley Cup playoffs as well, same round. Will we see the rematch? We'll find out, you know, at some point next week. It'll be all about. I appreciate the positive vibes. I appreciate it for sure. The advice. I appreciate it, man. I definitely won't stop. For sure. I'm going to keep grinding out. I know I can get to 100. And I appreciate the positivity, for sure. So, yeah. Now let's go back to Saturday night's main event for this past weekend in WWE. So, yeah, I also talk WWE as well, other than just sports. Like a little combat sports as well, too. Eventually, I should start doing UFC eventually. But, yeah, WWE is my thing as well, too. So, the first match of the night was Seth freaking Rollins. Absolutely. Yeah, so Seth freaking Rollins and Braun Breaker, two new Paul Heyman guys for sure. You know, this new alliance taking on CM Punk and Sami Zayn. I had CM Punk and Sami Zayn, so it was off to a rough start, my picks there. Rollins and Braun Breaker winning that match. From this match, I did not see in the card last week when I did my show, but it came up like just probably like must have scheduled the night before when it was on SmackDown.